Let's talk about something that's about to completely change how you use the internet. I'm talking about Agentic AI, a technology that's basically giving your web browser a brain. What if your browser could stop being just a window and start doing the work for you?
Go on, I'll wait. Take a quick look. Is it 5? 10? Maybe you're one of those people with 30 tabs open. Yeah, we've all been there. It's like you're drowning in this sea of tabs, just trying to plan a trip or research a project, or even just buy a new coffee maker. The web is amazing, but let's be honest, using it can feel like a full-time job.
And that's the big idea we're diving into. Imagine for a second, if your browser wasn't just this passive tool you had to command with every single click. What if it became an intelligent assistant, an active partner that helps you get things done? Well, that's the incredible promise of Agentic AI.
So how in the world does this work? Well, think of your browser right now as a car, a perfectly good car, but you have to drive it yourself. You're in charge of the steering wheel, the gas, the brakes, every single turn. And Agentic AI browser? That's like hiring a chauffeur. You just lean back, say, take me to the best deal on a flight to Tokyo, and it handles the rest.
So, to get a little more specific, what exactly is Agentic AI? In simple terms, it's an AI that can take initiative. You don't have to give it a list of step-by-step commands. You just give it a goal, a complex goal, and it figures out the how all by itself. It can look at a web page, make a plan, and then actually take the actions needed to get the job done.
And this really breaks down the difference, right? On the left, that's the grind we all know. Click, search, copy, paste, open a new tab, repeat. You are the engine. But on the right, that's the future. You just state what you want, and the browser becomes your partner, executing all those tedious steps for you. We're shifting from telling the computer how to do something to just telling it what we want done.
Okay, I know it kind of sounds like magic. How can an AI actually drive a browser? How does it make sense of a website that was built for human eyes? Well, let's pull back the curtain and see what's actually going on under the hood.
It's really a 4-step dance. First, it parses your goal. And it doesn't just see keywords, it understands your intent. Then it observes the web page, almost like a person would, identifying, okay, that's a button, that's a text field, there's the next page link. Based on what it sees, it formulates a plan, a sequence of actions. And finally, it executes that plan, clicking, typing, and navigating, just like you would, only, at superhuman speed.
So that's the theory, the how behind the magic. But what about the what? What could this actually look like in our day-to-day lives? Let's get into some real-world examples.
Just think about this. Instead of spending a whole evening hopping between 10 different travel sites, you could just say, find me the best flight and hotel package for Tokyo in May. Done. Or forget sifting through dozens of news alerts. Just ask for a summary of the top articles about your competitor. It could even do your shopping for you, comparing reviews and placing the order, or tackle those mind-numbing application forms we all hate. This is so much bigger than just saving a few clicks. It's about automating entire workflows. And this right here, this is the real human impact. It's about getting back our most valuable, non-renewable resource, our time. Imagine what you could do with all those hours you get back from doing boring, repetitive online chores. This tech lets us skip the manual labor of collecting information and jump straight to the important stuff, like thinking and making decisions.
But of course, with any technology this powerful, it's not all sunshine and roses. Handing over the keys to our digital lives to an AI, well, that comes with some pretty big questions and risks that we absolutely need to think about.
You can see the two sides of the coin here. The promise is huge, right? We're talking massive time savings, making the web more accessible for everyone, and hyper-personalization. But then there's the peril. What about data security and privacy when an AI has access to everything? What happens if it makes a mistake and orders the wrong thing or worse? And yeah, we have to talk about what this means for jobs that are centered around data entry and web research. These are the tough but crucial conversations we have to have.
So where does all this leave us? Where are we headed? Well, I can tell you this isn't some distant sci-fi concept anymore. The pieces are being built and put into place as we speak, and it's signaling a really fundamental change in how we interact with technology.
And if you need any proof of just how fast this is moving, look at this number, a projected 40% annual growth rate. That's not just growth, that's an explosion. This tells you that Agentic AI isn't just some niche experiment. It is on a clear path to becoming a core part of our digital lives, and probably a lot sooner than most of us think.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about.
For decades, we've had to learn the language of computers, how to click, how to search, how to navigate their world. But are we finally on the verge of a new era? An era where our computers finally learn to speak our language, the language of goals, of intent. It's a pretty wild thought. The next click you make might just be the last one you ever have to.